Right, welcome back to Art 371. This is an overview of Project 3. This is going to be a large to medium scale architectural projection, sculptural projection, and just general projection mapping on the grounds of the Cameron Museum. So you're going to have a really great opportunity here to work with one of our local community partners and to do some outdoor projection work on the exterior of the Cameron Museum or around the grounds of the Cameron. So what I would like all of you to do is to propose a project idea or a theme that everyone could kind of work around. We could either work on one system that each of you kind of get to create your own content for, and I'll show you an example of that, and work around a central theme that you guys would all be working around. Or you guys could all kind of pick different locations around the Cameron Museum, do smaller, medium-sized projections. I can bring still some pretty big projectors out and my big 9K projector out. And we could do some medium to large-scale projections in multiple locations. Again, working around a central theme. So I'm kind of open. I want you guys to just kind of dream a little bit. Look at the images that I've prepared. Go visit the Cameron if you can, and think about what space you would like to create something in. And then, we'll all look at each other's Flipgrid proposals, presentations, and then we'll have a vote on which direction we want to go. So I have included a few things here. This is a link to a Google Drive, so if you click on this, this will open up a folder here of images, and you can look at various parts of the Cameron Museum. This is sort of the front of the museum. As we move forward, you can see it's not the lightest colored building, but you'll see from a project that we did last year, it actually still illuminates quite well as long as it's not wet. This is their art education building, which is bright white. This building would illuminate incredibly well. As we move through, you can see the front side of that building. They have a really neat pond area, so we could actually project onto some plants. This would be more like a medium-sized projection project. You could project down onto the pond area. There's all these rubber ducks that are out right now that you could try projecting on. I really want you to think about the location to be as site-specific as possible. All these little lily pads and algae. I actually have a larger project that's focused on algae. If you guys would like to explore kind of living systems and organisms and ecosystems and algae as a theme, that could be a theme to work with. Again, a few more shots around the pond. There's a really great walking path that goes all around this. As you go all the way around, there's a lot of trees that could be illuminated and little edges. All these little high grasses could be projected onto. And lots of power options around as well. They have a really neat little forest here of cedar trees. We could stretch fabric in here. I have a whole bunch of fabric, or you could just project onto the branches and the ground and the trees above. There's a little arbor area, again, perfect for stretching material across if we want to do something, or on the big illuminated rubber ducks that they currently have on display. And then these are some of the backside views of the building, some really like large wall surfaces that could be projected on. Gets a little more light colored as you go around the corner. Some nice little round windows and top windows up above. We might even be able to get access to some of these balcony areas to project from. And that kind of goes around the back side of the building. There is also an open courtyard area here, which would be very like performance oriented. We could think about something on that side of the building. There's also this small building on the side, which is dedicated to Minnie Evans' work. There's a large Mel Chin sculpture. And then they have a whole forested sort of history walk that deals with the Civil War battle that happened here on the grounds just next to the Cameron Museum. So could do something back there that's very, history oriented. This one will be a little trickier with power, but we could work on something, especially with Pico projectors or maybe my mobile unit. So it gives you a nice idea of the whole structure of the building. So I want you to look at these images, maybe go visit on your own and think about that, okay? And then I want to show you one example. I had a large project called Ebb and Flow last summer. It was a big cross-country research trip. But the final closing performance, I brought my students in from this class. And this is some of the work that we did for the Cameron Museum. I'm not sure why I can't click on these right now. I'll have to work on that. But this is some video of what we did. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you real quick. And there's a link there if you want to see it in real time. I'll turn the volume down. There was a nice audio track that went with it. So even though that building is rather dark, you can see imagery shows up on it really well as on the parking lot ground. And this was from my large 9K projector, which we actually ran off of I have a mobile battery unit that can power it that's solar powered. So we could set that up anywhere and project on really any side of the building at a large scale, or we could pick out some of those other locations and go at more of a medium scale. So it's really let your minds wander a little bit and dream. You can dream big, you can dream small. Logistically with COVID, I'm still working out the final details with the university, but it'll probably be that either, we schedule a time, like if we all work from one big system, each of you would get some time on that system. It would be a little more limited. You might only have like 15 minutes on the system just because of restrictions with nightfall, only so many hours in the evening. Or we could have multiple systems set up around the grounds, a large one, a medium one, some small ones. And people could be there all at the same time and just be socially distanced. And then I would be kind of a facilitator of those. So I'm really kind of open to either. As far as themes go, like I said, I have a large project going on right now with a group called the Algae Society. I'll leave you a link. That's where this project came from, which is dealing with ecology and kind of aquatic ecosystems, relationships between our rivers and our oceans. But also dealing with algae as an interesting, inspiring biological system. That could be a theme, but I would love to hear you guys propose themes as well that you think would work well with the Cameron Museum. So review all this information. I will leave a link, like I said, to my one group called the Algae Society. I'll pull it up here, and you can see these links as well. And we'll just kind of take it from there, come up with an interesting proposal, and then we'll all take a look at it and see what works, okay? And let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go from there. So it is, it can be individual, it can be group, it can be kind of a hybrid. I'm open to options on it, but really think about the Cameron Museum, that location, Wilmington in general, and we'll take it from there. All right. Have a good one.